So we start by standing. Let me just adjust the screen so you can see my head. Right, so that's it. Right, so just feet are at least a width apart and just shake hands a little bit, that kind of thing, and just maybe shake the feet. Especially if you've been sitting or, you know, 'cause it was snowing, isn't it? It's so cold. If you've been in all day, sort of just in the central heating, just shaking off the limbs, really, that's all, just kind of improving the circulation to the feet and to the fingertips, and then just stop. So allow the arms just to go. Focus your gaze, focus the gaze, and then just going to soften the knees, like a small kind of bounciness to the knees. And then when you next breathe in, taking the arms up, and as you breathe out, soften the knees and just let the arms come down. Breathing in, take the arms up and keep your gaze kind of focused on a point on the floor or directly in front of you. The out breath takes you down, the in breath takes you up. The out breath, down, breathing in and really filling up the whole of the lungs. The out breath, down. When you next breathe in and the arms come up, can you come up onto the tips of the toes and stretch up, stretch, stretch, stretch. And then as you breathe out, sink down into the heels as you send the knees forward. Let the gaze go down towards the floor, cross the arms, breathe in, takes the arms up, stretch up, come up onto the tips of the toes, lift the heels, stretch, stretch, stretch. Then as you breathe out, soften the knees, gaze comes down, sink into the heels. As you breathe out, the in-breath takes you up and lift the heels and stretch up. Then as you breathe out, sink into the heels, soften the knees and just stay there. Breathe as you need to. The hands can rest on the knees or maybe your hands go a little bit lower to the ankles or to the toes, but you know, it doesn't really matter. You're just kind of letting yourself settle kind of there. And round the spine. Be aware the space between the shoulder blades. Breathe in, round spine. And then as you breathe out, just sink between the shoulder blades. Sink at the back of the waist. When you breathe in and you round the spine, can you imagine you can take your gaze towards your navel? Round spine. And then as you breathe out, sink between the shoulder blades. And if possible, just take your gaze forward. Just be careful of your neck. It takes you into a bit more of an extension of the spine. Then as you breathe in, round spine. Gaze comes towards the navel. And as you breathe out, you sink. And you just take the gaze forward. And then when you're ready, breathing as you do, just bring yourself up to stand. Roll your shoulders and just spend a moment or so, doesn't have to be long, just noticing how that relatively short, simple practice feels around the upper part of your body. As soon as we take our attention to our breathing, we become away from the sympathetic nervous system. It slows us down. The out breath takes us to a sense that we can start to control what's going on inside our body. We can start to slow ourselves down. We can find just a possibility of rest, of settling, allowing the body to settle. So we're going to continue to work with the breath. Take the feet a little bit wider, not too wide, just a little bit wider. And when you bend the knees, bend the knees. The knees are going forward past the toes. So they're not going in, you're not going out, they're sort of moving forward. You can feel the base of the big toe, the little toe and heel, because that will keep the knees stable. That will stop you kind of shearing through the tendons. So we're going to do more or less the same thing. So we're going to breathe in, we're going to take the arms up. And then as you breathe out, send the knees forward, sink into the heels, and just let yourself hang between the knees. The in-breath takes you up. And then as you breathe out, sink into the heels and let the spine hang forward. Drop the top of the head. The in-breath takes you up. Maybe you can lift the heels. Then as you breathe out, sink into the heels, send the knees forward and just allow yourself to come down. And just doing that a few times is a really good one at strengthening the ankles. The out-breath takes you down, the knees go forward, then you sink into the heels. The in-breath takes you up, you stretch up, you come up through the heels. And as you breathe out and you sink into the heels, you can feel the weight of your body going back as your spine goes forward and down. So really training yourself to be aware of all these transferences of weight that are going on inside your body as you move. And that just brings us to a sense of what's happening now. Then the next time, or when you're ready, you just stop. And just let the arms come to rest down by your side. Soften the knees. Right, so I'll just turn so you can see. So we're going to send you just looking directly forward. Take the hands at the back of the head and just draw the elbows forward. Take the elbows wide. If you've got stuff going on in your shoulders and this is no good for you, you can let the hands come a little bit lower. But if it's all right, just lightly, you're taking the elbows forward, you're taking the elbows out. So when you take the elbows out, draw the shoulder blades together. When you take the elbows forward, maybe round the spine. So we're trying to wake up the muscles between the shoulders. And just doing that a few times. And just notice when you take the elbows forward and you round the spine, the chin draws in quite naturally, or maybe perhaps. And then as you take the elbows wide and you draw the shoulder blades together, there might be a possibility of just looking up slightly towards the ceiling. And then so you're just integrating the movement of the neck. Just doing that a few times. And you can breathe with it if you like. So as you breathe in, you can round the spine, look down. As you breathe out, you can open the elbows, look up. Or you might want to do it the other way around. So never getting too precious with kind of controlling the breath, because ultimately you know how to breathe. And then when you're ready, just stop, come to neutral. So your gaze is just forward. And then just let the arms come to rest down by your side. Soften the knees. So now we're just going to swing the arms. You're going to just slightly do it like a nothing movement. Swing the arms forward, taking the arms back. And well, I shouldn't say it's a nothing movement. It's only a nothing or simple movement if you've got nothing going on in your shoulders. And all of us at the moment have tension and tightness in our shoulders. So just being careful as you swing the arms back and as you swing the arms forward and up. And then just, you can feel the movement through the feet. As we swing the arms back, maybe the heels, you can go back into the heels. As you swing the arms forward, you go into the toes. So we're going to take that into a natural kind of movement through the spine. So when you take the arms back, soften the knees, sink into the heels and allow the spine to come down. When you take the arms forward and take the arms up, perhaps the gaze comes up and that will take you into slight sort of back bend. And then just continuing, but go careful and don't fling your arms around, especially if you're near furniture. Just kind of control the movement of the arms. And when maybe, you can go with your breath again. So when you breathe in, you can go down if you like. Change the pattern. Then as you breathe out, you can take the arms up and that might feel a bit odd. So just kind of experimenting with the way that you work with your breath, but always knowing that, you breathe. So these movements and these exercises aren't really about the breath. Ultimately, they're not even really about the movements. It's about training ourselves to be attentive to what we're feeling. And then the next time you just come, or when you're ready, I shouldn't say but next time, when you're ready, you just stop. You just stop. And then just shrug the shoulders a few times and just spend a moment or so feeling the echoes in your body, allowing your breath to settle. And then just come towards perhaps the back of the mat. Doesn't matter too much, but we're just going to send a small step forward with the right foot. So both feet are facing forward. If you've naturally turned the back foot out, just see if you can turn the both feet forward. So just come back to standing. So at least feet are at least hip width apart. And when I say hip width apart, so the outside edges of the hips, outside edges of the knees, outside edges of the feet. So you have that kind of stable base, and you can feel the inner edges, the big toe, base of the big toe, the outer edges of the little toes. So that stable base, it's not that I've got a foot fetish, when you have that kind of stable base beneath you, that sense of connection, that will allow support to occur, to transpire through the rest of the spine. And then when you're ready, when you lift up the right heel, you can feel the weight go down into the left foot and you just send the right foot forward. So in a sense, you don't change anything through that back foot. You can lift the back heel up and down a few times. You can lift the front heel up and down a few times. You can take the arms up, just as we did before, and then you can lift up both heels, focus the gaze. Lift up both heels, and then carefully bring the heels down. Let the heels come down. Let the heels come down. Lower the arms, and just do exactly what we did before, just swinging the arms forward and back, and just notice, allow your neck and allow your head to go with it. So as the arms go up, the head or the gaze goes up towards the ceiling. When the arms go down, the gaze goes down. So you're not fighting against the movement of the body. You're trying to work with your body, not against it. And then stop. And then we're going to send the left one back. So bring the right foot back, send the left foot forward. So both feet are facing forward. You've got space between the feet. You can soften the knees, so you're certainly not locking any joint in your body. So you can move the shoulders, you can move the knees, you can move the hips. So none of these things are about being contained. Within yoga, we're trying to free up channels and energy and the life inside us. So we can kind of go the other way. So we can take the arms out, take the arms up, lift the heels. And then as the heels come down, you can bring the arms down, soften the knees. And just do that a few times. Just so all that we're trying to do is, I don't want to fall over. We're going to mobilising the shoulders, mobilising and working with our breath. And you know, and if you fall out, is this okay? I fall out all the time. So then when you're ready, you stop and you just bring the left foot back. Just equalise the weight between the feet. Now, you know, there is the possibility. Usually we will always sink into one side, but you know, within yoga we aim to equalise. So when you send the right foot forward, there's space between. You can lift the back heel up and down, you can lift the front heel up and down. So I do that just to make sure you're not locking the knees. So now we're going to lift up both heels. We're going to take the arms up. We're going to bring the back heel down. We're going to send the front knee forward. Front knee goes forward. We're going to lower the left arm, so the right one stays up. And we're just going to trail those left fingertips down towards the left knee. So you're stretching and opening the right side of the body. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, bring that right heel, that front heel down. So that just increases that length down the right side of the body. Make sure you're breathing. Just breathe as you need to as you come back up. Lower the right arm. Step back. Step forward with the left foot. So you can rock forward and back, get that sense of connection through the feet. Because if you have a stable base, the rest of your body will follow. So then when you're ready, you stop. You can allow the back heel to stay as it is and lift up the front heel, so the left heel. And the left knee bends. You know, you're lifting, you're coming up through the heel, you're coming up through the knee. Take the left arm up. The right arm can just rest down by your side. And then when you're ready, the right fingertips are just going to trail towards the right knee or lower, as though you're between two panes of glass. Focus the gaze, good. It's a balance. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, lower that front heel, so you'd increase that length down the left side of the body. And then when you're ready, breathe as you need to, just come out and step back. And just again, equalise the weight between the feet. So I'll just turn it to a different side. So we're going to send the right foot forward, right foot goes forward, and you're going to lift up that back heel, and you're going to send that front knee forward. And then as the back heel goes down, so be with awareness and slowly, as the back heel goes down, you lift up that front heel, the right heel. We're going to take the right arm up, but you're not stretching. You can allow the weight of the arm to rest into the shoulder. The left fingertips trail down towards the left knee, and you open the right side of the body. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, you bring the right heel down. Breathe as you need to as you come back up. You lower the arm, you step back. Step forward with the left foot. The right heel, the back heel connects you, stabilises you to the floor as you bring up that front heel. And then we're going to take the left arm up. The right fingertips trail towards the right ankle. So you're doing a side bend. We're not going forward, we're trying not to go back. We're going to do a side bend. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, bring that front heel down. Breathe as you need to. You come back up and step back. So we're just opening and trying to find a bit of freedom around the upper part of our body, and then, you know, strength in the lower half as well. So equalise the weight between the feet. And then when you're ready, you're just going to step forward with the right foot, and you're going to send that front knee. You're going to maybe lift the back heel to send the front knee forward, to find that connection. Then as the back heel goes down, you keep that front knee sort of moving forward, moving forward. We're going to take the arms up, both arms up, and we're going to breathe in, and we're going to breathe out. We're going to breathe in and we're going to lengthen that front leg. We're going to lift up the front toes, the right toes. And then as we breathe out, bring the toes down, send the knee forward. We're going to breathe in, we're going to lift the toes, we're going to lengthen the back leg. Sorry, the back of the front leg, that was a bit confusing. Then as we breathe out, we send the knee forward, bring the toes down. Just do that a few times, just kind of easing into the hamstrings, easing into the knee. And then when you're ready, just stop with the front knee sort of bent, sent forward, and then you're just going to sweep the arms round, and you're going to, as the arms go behind you, your gaze goes down and the arms go up towards the ceiling, and then they just go to where they go. And then maybe on the in-breath you can take the arms up, the gaze can come up, and then as you breathe out, you sweep the arms round, down, behind you. The in-breath takes you up, the out-breath sweeps the arms round, down and behind you, and they're just exercises to mobilise the shoulders. And then you can stop with the arms above you and you breathe, 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 breathe. And then when you're ready, lower the arms and step back or forward. Then you're going to send the left foot forward. So if possible, both feet are facing forward. If the back foot is turned out, that's okay, you can adjust, or if you're more comfortable in that way, then that's what you do. But you know, yoga is about learning how you move and your behaviours, your patterns. Right, lift the back heel up and down a few times. Then as the back heel rests down, you can send the front knee forward. You can swing the arms forward and back a few times, just to free up the shoulders. And then if it's okay with your shoulders, you can take the arms up. But if you'd rather have your arms resting down by your side or behind you, then you know that that's fine. There's no right or wrong with these things. And then we're going to do what we did before. So we breathe in and we breathe out. Breathe in and we breathe out. The next time we breathe in, lift the left toes, lengthen the front leg, or straighten the front leg. And then as you breathe out, bring the toes down, send the knee forward. Breathing in, lift the front toes, lengthen the front leg. And as you breathe out, you send the knee forward. And then just carry on, kind of working with your breath. And be aware of what's happening with the back leg as well, because you're getting a length and a stretching through the back leg. It's really good little things at mobilising. Then the next time the left knee moves forward, stay there, breathe as you need to, and you're going to swing the arms again, forward and back. And then just see, is there a possibility, as the arms go behind you, can you send the spine forward and down? In breath takes the arms up, and maybe look up, so then maybe you can feel a sense of extension or length in the spine. And then as you breathe out, spine goes down, arms go behind you. And slow it down and control the movement of the arms. So you're not just mindlessly swinging the arms around. You're feeling what's happening in your shoulders. You're feeling what's happening in your neck. You're feeling what's happening in your spine. You're feeling the connection all the way down through to your heels, to the feet, and that part of you that connects you to the floor, that gives you stability. And then if it's okay, you stop with the arms above you. Gaze is up towards the ceiling if possible. Then you lower the arms and you step back. And you just, for a few moments, you stop. You just assimilate what's happened in your body. You allow your breath to find its pattern, I suppose, or rhythm. And you just find the connection down through the feet. So you find a sense of stability when you stop. Because stopping is when we find health. The actual movements are just exercises. Yoga ultimately is learning to do nothing. So when you're ready, we're going to step the right foot forward. Right foot goes forward, and you're going to send the front knee forward, the right knee. Going to send the right knee forward. You're going to take the arms up, but you're going to relax the shoulders. Then you're going to take the right arm forward, and if possible, keep that sense of the knees moving forward, but you're going to take the left arm behind. And then you're going to bring the right hand or the right elbow towards the right thigh. And then that left arm is going to go over past the ear. And if possible, you're going to turn to look the gaze up towards the ceiling. And you feel that length from the left fingertips all the way down the left side of the body to the left heel. And then when you're ready, come back up and step back. You're going to send the left foot forward. The left knee moves forward, but the right heel stabilises you. It's almost as though from that right heel, you send that left knee forward. Place the hands on the back of the waist, and as that front knee moves forward, imagine the back of the waist is drawing back towards the hands. And then you can start to send the spine forward, or the chest maybe forward and down, but where the hands are resting behind you, that part there is coming up. So you're not sinking, you're trying not to sink. Then the left elbow can just rest, not pushing, can just come into contact with that left thigh. And we can start to turn the collarbones or the upper part of the chest away from that left knee. So you start to rotate towards the right. So the right shoulder starts to come back. The gaze might go up towards the ceiling. And if possible, the right arm can just travel forward past the right ear. And you make sure you breathe. And then when you're ready, you come back out. Oh, you step back. I did creep that one up on you a little bit. We'll just try again. We'll just do that last one more time. So you just go to, I mean, if it's too much for you, obviously you don't take the arm over, you can just keep the arm resting behind. So I'll do it from this side. So the right foot goes forward. So there's space between, because it is a balance, so if you make sure you have space between the feet, I should say, or legs. So lift up the back heel a few times. As the back heel goes down, the front knee moves forward. So you're getting a nice bit of length through the back leg, you're strengthening the front knee. Let the hands come to rest behind you because we don't want to sink. Now where the hands are resting behind you, draw back because that will start to engage the postural muscles as the front knee moves forward. And then you can, if you like, do what we did before. We start to send the spine forward. Maybe just parallel to the floor. You're not trying to get your chest on that thigh. We're trying to make as much space in the front of the hips as possible. If there's a possibility of bringing the right elbow onto that right thigh, that's what you can do. But you're not pushing. You can still move the shoulder. Take your attention to the left elbow. The left elbow can start to move up towards the ceiling and that might allow the spine to turn so you make space. That's enough for you, stay there. If there's a possibility of taking that left arm over past the left ear, turning the gaze to look up towards the ceiling, then that's what maybe you can do. Breathe and then come out. Step back. So really good ones are opening up sides of the body. So last time. So the left foot goes forward, left foot goes forward. You've got space between because it is a balance. If you feel a bit off balance, take the feet a little bit wider and don't go so long. If you feel, oh, it's really easy, what's she going on about? You can take the legs a little bit further apart, but always make sure you can come out of it. So always give yourself an escape plan. So send the left knee forward, but you can still lift the back heel. So you're not stretching, you're not pulling yourself apart. You can feel yourself lengthening, but you're not pushing and pulling. The front knee moves forward, the back heel stabilises you. The left elbow can rest on that left thigh, but you're not pushing, you're not sinking. You know that you're not sinking because you can lift the elbow up. So that's started to take the spine down. The right hand can rest perhaps on the back of the waist, and as the right elbow and as the right shoulder comes away from that left knee, you can feel that turn. You can maybe take the right arm up, the gaze comes up towards the ceiling, allow the weight of the arm to rest into the shoulder as the right arm goes over past that left knee. Make sure you're breathing, and then when you're ready, come back, come to stand. And then just exactly as we started, feet at least hip width apart, allow the arms to rest down by your side, and you settle your weight into the feet. Focus the gaze, and just for a moment, a few moments, however long, you notice the echoes or the what's transpired in your body. The breath, maybe you're feeling a little bit different. There might be more sense of awakening around the shoulders. You can lift up one heel at a time. And as you lift the heels, perhaps there's more of an awareness of what's going on in the hips. And then we're going to ever so carefully just bring the elbows in front of you, and the hands can just rest on the elbows, and you're just going to soften the knees as you just twist the elbows from side to side. Then ever so carefully, you're just going to round the spine, and the elbows are going to encourage the spine to lengthen towards the floor. Soft, soft knees. So the crown of the head coming down. And then stop, soft, soft knees, and maybe the fingertips or the knuckles or part of the hands come onto the floor, or the hands can rest on your knees. It's fine. Can't emphasise enough. There's no right or wrong with these things because it's your body. And I've got very long arms, so if you just allow the hands to go where they go, and then just move the shoulders. So the hands don't want to pull the shoulders because the shoulders are tense enough. We don't want to push or pull them anymore. Let go of the head. Soften the jaw. Lift up one heel at a time. And then let the heels come down, but just imagine you're going to lift the heels. Allow the crown of the head to find its way towards the floor, but there's space. And then ever so carefully you start to walk the hands forward. You lift the heels to bring the knees down. You flatten the feet. And then just see, is there a possibility of easing the hips back towards the heels? You make light fists with the hands to support the head, and allow the weight of your head to be given down. So we spent the last 25 minutes or so supporting our head, supporting the neck. Now, is there a possibility of letting your head be given? Maybe you can take one hand away and the head will lower a little bit more. Maybe you can take both hands away and the forehead will come down to the floor. But can you keep the hips resting back towards the heels? And just be aware, is this a position that's quite comfortable, or is it something that is, well, you just don't want to do it? And then when you're ready, just coming over onto your back for the last few minutes or so. Bringing the soles of the feet onto the floor and coming to rest down. So if it's okay to keep your knees bent, keeping the knees bent, and just place your hands over your eyes. Palms of the hands, I should say, over the eyes. So the elbows are above you, shoulders rest down into the floor. And just give the weight of your hands down through to the eyes, down through to the face. And allow your head to be given to the floor. Heavy, heavy head. So we've been supporting our head, moving our head, turning our head. But now the weight of our head can be given down. And just carefully just start to massage around the eyes, around the temples, around the brow, around the cheekbones. And feeling the facial muscles or the skin, the movable kind of muscles and stuff, and tissue that encases the skull, just moving. Move your jaw. And then stop. Stop. And carefully just let the hands come to rest down by your side. And allow the weight of your shoulders to rest. Be aware of the right shoulder resting into the floor. The left shoulder resting into the floor. The weight of your head. The weight of your hips and the feet. And just for a few moments, just know to yourself that there's nothing else to do. But allow your body to find utter rest, quiet, and be settled. So when you take your attention to your breathing, you just notice there's an in-breath and there's an out-breath. And your body is still and quiet. And the only movement that you can discern or that you can be aware of is your breathing. And your breathing happens anyway. So you're bringing your attention to something that's there, that's constant, a deep inner rhythm that's always with you and part of you and is you. So as the class comes towards its close, you're starting to find a bit of movement, perhaps in the fingers, or doing whatever feels right for you. I shouldn't tell you what to do, circle the shoulders. Anything that feels comfortable for you, maybe stretching. So you take your time to come out of the practice. This is the best thing about being on your own mat in your own home, is that you can decide. And coming out slowly when you're ready, perhaps coming over onto your side, resting there for a few moments. Taking your time. Before, when you're ready, just coming to sit up and getting ready for the rest of the evening.